Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is High Country Dan, and I wanted to give you guys an update on my cold plunge build. Specifically, a couple of things that I've changed, a couple of things that I've upgraded to, that have really helped me enjoy this cold plunge even more. So first things first, it's been about 3 months since I built this cold plunge. I've been plunging every day. I absolutely love it. I have added a chiller. We're going to talk about that today. And then a couple of things that you're going to see that are different today is, first things first, I added these hooks, both here and over there. And those hooks are really beneficial because they allow me to hang up my neoprene booties and gloves, and also a little fishnet for cleaning out the cold plunge. I got Raynaud's really bad, and my hands I can't feel them for hours after cold plunging if I don't use the booties, the neoprene booties. If you're looking for those, I will post a link in the comments for those. I just got them off of Amazon. The next thing you're going to notice is that the stairs are no longer over here, they're actually over there. And so let's talk about why I made that change. All right, so you guys will notice that I have the stairs on this side now rather than on this side. And the reason being is two parts. First of all, I was using 20 micron filters in my filtration system, and that was getting plugged up about every 10 days. I'd have to change out those filters. Right now I'm running 50 micron, and I'm at 2 weeks and I haven't had to change it yet. And so part of the issue with the stairs was that I'd have to move the stairs completely out of the way every time I wanted to change the filter, which is not the end of the world, but with where I had my pump, the stairs would often bump the pump and cause it to leak. Not the pump to leak, but one of the connections to leak where it connects to the tank. And so that was kind of a pain in the butt, and it just was a hassle to have to move those stairs all of the time. The second part is that I really couldn't fit the chiller in at all into that space or that area, which I still can't, but I'm going to show you what I did differently. Last little note here quick is that if you decide to build stairs like this, I highly recommend doing it. They actually work perfect. I love sitting on them, changing on them. This is out in my shop, out in my garage, so a lot of times I'll work out in my home gym and then I'll jump in the cold plunge, or vice versa, and I like being able to just change out here and not have to run back into the house. My shop is detached from my house, so it's across the driveway, and it just makes it a little bit easier for me. But I love the stairs. I love that I can sit on them, change on them, dry off on them, and not get on my dirty garage floor or anything like that. So let's walk around over to this side. Hey, Cheeto. That's Cheeto the cat. Everybody say hi, Cheeto. Hi, Cheeto. Little mangy muskie. Anyway, and so let's walk over to this side and I'll show you what I did with the plumbing. All right, on this side, you can see I moved my Inkbird temperature controller over to this side. That's the LED lights. If anything, the one thing that I would probably change, if I could, would be the location of the LED switch, because I manually have to turn the lights on this side, which obviously if you're on the other side of the tank and you want to get in, it just kind of makes it a pain in the butt, but it's not that big of a deal. There's a close-up of the Inkbird temperature. I'm running at 49 degrees right now, which is plenty cold for me. I did 9 minutes in it yesterday at 50 and I couldn't feel my arms. So first things first, this is my chiller. I have the Vevor 1.5 horse chiller. Hopefully you can see that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a 1.5 horse chiller. And unfortunately you can't see the connections that I use, but I've got it wrapped in this recyclable insulation stuff. This actually comes from my medication that I get through the pharmacy. It has to be refrigerated, and so they sent that to me, and I thought, oh, what a great recycle use. I'll just wrap it around my pipes. So let's take a look. Well, first of all, I guess let me show you this. I used exactly one more box of 8-inch plank flooring for this little project, and it took exactly, or I'm sorry, 2 more boxes. It took exactly 2 boxes to finish this out. And kind of similar to the build, I'm not going to show you how I did that, but I basically framed it up. And then the one thing I have to do is I've got to take a little bit off the bottom of my door here because it doesn't open up that great. But you can see inside the cabinet, I've actually flipped the plumbing completely around. So this valve and the pump and the water filter all used to be on this side, and I basically just took everything and I flipped it over. I did have to do some replumbing up here where it goes back into the tank, and I had to add some elbows and stuff right here basically coming out. So this is, the water comes in from the tank, through the pump, up through the Venturi valve, through the filter, down into, this goes out to the chiller, and then it comes back in from the chiller and then up and into the back into the tub. And so you can see my ozone's running right there. It's got 3 hours before it'll start another 10-minute cycle. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is that I just flipped everything over, and the reason I did that is so that I could run these hoses and put the chiller back on this side of the tank. That way it's got plenty of space between the tub and the back of the compressor on the chiller, and then it's got plenty of space in front of the chiller to blow air out. And I could even vent that out to the outside of the shop here, but I don't think I'm gonna need to do that. We'll see how it gets this winter. But anyway, that's the major differences, guys. I haven't really changed anything in the tank. The plumbing is all, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory if you saw my previous video. The nice thing about this particular GE filter, which I hate by the way, is that I did have to take this cover off, and the mounting bracket was actually mounted to this side of it, so that when I flipped it around from over here, I just put the mounting bracket on the other side. So that's the nice thing about that Culligan filter system, is that you can mount the mounting bracket on either side of it. So I was able to just flip it around, and now I've got plenty of clearance behind my pump over here. You can see I've got styrofoam board insulating this entire cavity. And yeah, I still get a drip down there every once in a while, which it wasn't dripping yesterday, and now it's dripping today. So I'm gonna have to probably loosen these fittings and tighten it up. But I had to pull these hoses yesterday to finish building this so I could fish them through that piece of siding right there, which I just used a hole saw bit. So, all right, that's that. Let's open the tub and I'll show you the inside real quick. All right, here's the inside of the tub, and nothing's really changed in here. The only thing I'll show you is that these hinges have definitely rusted pretty bad. They're not terrible, but they're not great. I try to wipe them down. The one thing I haven't done yet, and I was thinking about it today, was maybe just wiping it down with some WD-40 to see if that helps, at least prevent any more rusting. But I've got good water flow. These are using the 50 micron. Again, this is about, I think, 10 days in with that 50 micron, whereas the 20 microns would have almost stopped flowing completely at this point. But the last thing I'm gonna do is grab one of those little pool suckers so that I can get some of the debris that's at the bottom of the tank that gets carried in or whatever. As you saw earlier, my cat was climbing on this thing. And so sometimes what happens is that anything that gets trapped or stuck on the top, when you open the lid, it obviously slides down this crack and falls in. The one thing I'm gonna do at some point is get some weather stripping and just run a piece of weather stripping in there to hopefully prevent that, and also to prevent any leakage of, or at least trying to keep it as cool as possible. So anyway, there you guys have it. I'll give you a close-up of these hooks. Those are the hooks I use, nothing fancy, just some stuff from the local hardware store. And I actually hung a couple up over there where I can hang up my suits and whatnot. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, hit them in the comments. Thanks for watching.